I consider a static turn a turn where you roughly start and end in the same place. So I can do the turn like this. I can face like this where I'm in underhand, and then I turn and I'm in overhand, and then I turn and I'm in underhand. If you look at my feet, you'll notice I'm moving both feet to accommodate and stay roughly in the same place relative to my room. I would consider that a static turn. You would want to use that in a smaller space. However, you have way more performance power, in my opinion, when you start using the performance space and you traverse, because what you're doing is you're changing the energetic dynamic of the space and you're moving closer and further away from the audience. So just taking that one turn and traversing, right? This is a traversing turn versus a static turn, and I'm intentionally trying to move as much across this space as I can. So that really wasn't very, like, I'm literally doing two 180-degree turns, and I'm getting 8 feet across. Doom, 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 right? That is a more potent performance movement. Yeah, I think it's, like, in real life it's more impressive. On video, people may not give, they may not be able to see what's going on, but we don't do this just for video. We do this in the hopes that someday we use it as a cool party trick in front of our friends and family. And in that context, I think it makes way more difference to be able to traverse. Similarly though, sometimes you have a very small performance area and you need to be able to keep it compact, so it's good to know how to do both. The same is true for the weave turnaround. So if you can do this weave turnaround, this is a static version of it, right? I did a right turn where I stayed roughly in the same place. Now I'll do it as a traversing version, where I'm moving all the way across and all the way back. And I did a right and then a left. A right to go that way and a left to go back. But you could do the right turn both there and back if you wanted. If you are doing a traversing turn, at some point your foot has to step backwards, because you gotta get your foot adjusted, right? I'm here, I turn, I'm forward, but I'm here, and I step back. So there's a forward and a back when you're traversing, which isn't necessarily the case when you're doing a static turn. So this would be a static version of a chasing the sun, versus this, which would be a traversing version. Right? So being able to go through your space as a performance artist makes a big difference. Now, if you want to take that to another level, continuous turns are also really awesome, right? So being able to go through your space in a continuous turn, but where you're stepping more like you're doing a waltz than straight lines across, right? So this is more straight, and this is more like a waltz turn. These are called Trinity turns because you're cutting the turn and you're not doing a full 180. You're doing it more like 120s. Well, guess what? You can add that under the leg turn that you know to the list of traversing turns if you wanted to, because you could do it as a static version, right? So it's the same thing. You can still do it static, where you're here, you do your 180, you come out here, and then you turn back around and you end up here, right? So that's me roughly doing it in the same place, but I could do it where I come through, come under, and step forward, and I've now moved across the space. So anything you know that's a side plane turnaround, you can now make traversing.